Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Luna Classic, what has happened in the past 24 hours and where I predict the price to go in the near future, as well as some key price levels that I'm looking at, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Now, before I get into the technicals, before I get into everything with this video, of course I do make these videos hopefully to help you make some decent trades on Luna Classic, and as you all know, the majority of the volume of Luna Classic will be people buying and selling Luna Classic, not holders but people who are actively trading it. So hopefully, these videos that I make every day on Luna Classic will hopefully help you make some decent trades on Luna Classic, and of course to help with the long-term goal of burning the supply of Luna Classic to a point where we get to our ultimate goal of 10 billion of Luna Classic remaining. So if these daily videos are at all helpful, then be sure to like this video, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe. Now, talking about Luna Classic, since this pump we had 3 days ago, now we've had this kind of downwards channel, and not a lot has changed since yesterday. Since yesterday, we saw this massive pump. In fact, I think this happened right after I made this video, which is very, very convenient because obviously it still suggests that we're in this channel here. Basically, we had the price bounce through the support and the resistance. It kind of channeled in closer to the support, and then all of a sudden, on that third or fourth test of the support, depending on how you count that, we saw this price pump a nice 10 or 12%, I believe it is. We can just measure that there. So 14%, this time yesterday-ish or so. So that was really nice. And now we've been ranging in this pattern once again. And of course, with everything, things can be construed in multiple ways. So I'm going to be giving you multiple scenarios as to what I think could happen next. Because, we could, at the end of the day, we can connect these lows and the highs in different ways. And of course, I don't want to miss anything out. So I'll be giving you all the scenarios I think are possible in this point here. So yesterday, what I think we saw was this falling wedge here on this kind of channel that we were in. We saw this price, narrow down towards the support level here, and then all of a sudden we saw this breakout here. Of course, we see that this was the support here that had been tested 3 times before this breakout. This resistance here that had been tested a lot, and we saw this breakout here, and now we're doing something similar where the price is kind of constricting in. So, my first thought here is that we are forming, this really mini triangle. That is a very short-term one. So if this is indeed a triangle, then of course we would have a deadline of around 6 hours. Let me just get that deadline there for you guys. So, okay, about closer to 10 hours from making this video. So of course it is a very short-term price target there. We do look like we have this triangle, and of course it does fill the requirements for one. So we got test, test, test on that resistance there. Sorry for the small signals there, but 3 tests of that resistance and 3 tests of the support here. So we have the necessary ingredients, for this to be a reputable triangle. Of course, this could break out within the next hour. It could break out by the deadline of 10 hours. But in this case scenario, so if this is what we're seeing right now, then I would expect to see a price target on the upside of 31.1 cents. I'm going to call this number 31.1 cents. I know it's got 3 zeros before it, but I'm just abbreviating it in this video. I don't want to cause any confusion. So this number, I'm just going to call 31.1 cents. And of course, this price target is responsive to where it breaks out. So, if it breaks out towards the end, then it's going to be a slightly lower price target of 30.7 cents. And likewise, if we break out, in this same candle here, then we'd see 31.2. So that's what I mean by that. So in any case, that represents a pump of nearly 11% there. So definitely not a small price movement by any means. We've already had this pump here, so definitely could see another one once again. Of course, we have Binance burning the supply. So, fundamentals are looking fairly bullish for Luna Classic in the longer term. But in the short term, it'll be interesting to see because, if we are bullish, and we should be following this light blue line upwards, like in this kind of direction here. If we keep following this channel down, then, it's just history repeating itself, because that's kind of what we saw in these examples as well. We just saw a gradual decline that got steeper and steeper. Binance released some news, and now it looks like we're following that kind of channel again on the face of it, guys. So really, this bullish break here would be an exciting game changer, because it would mean that we break out of Luna Classic's trend of this gradual decline from a pump. And that would make me bullish, not just long term, but also short term on Luna Classic. So I want to see this pump ideally from this triangle here. But if we do drop, then again, it'll be this distance, but on the downside. So what I'm going to do is just drag this here. And very, very conveniently, the downside is 12%, right down to our support here, this channel's support, which is very, very convenient. So that would give us a price target of around 24.4 cents if it does break out below the bottom side. Again, it's dynamic. So if we break out in 10 hours time, right at the very end of the triangle, price target is slightly higher at 24.6. But that's what I'm looking out for. Upper price target of 31 cents there, 30.7 to 31 cents, and lower price target of 24.3 to 24.6, right where this support line is. And of course, if you guys want to follow along as well, you can go straight onto trading view and just connect these lows here to form a line that kind of looks like this. Same with the upper side, form the highs to form a resistance here, and you can follow along yourself to see what price does, because at the moment we're close to resistance. So very interesting to see if we can break through this resistance here and enter a more bullish direction, kind of like this. So hopefully we could see something like this if we do break onto the bullish side, and start following a channel upwards. Or if we do break below this triangle here, then we're going to go down here, maybe bounce up a few more times, and kind of channel like this. And of course, if that were to occur, then, I'd be more expecting something similar like this to happen in the future and in the coming days as well. So this is quite a make or break point if this is indeed a triangle. And, it has the free test of support and the resistance that make me think that we are definitely seeing this triangle. So really super interested to see what happens there. Now, the other thing I want to talk about as well that I mentioned in my previous videos, but I've not yet forgotten about it, is this long ongoing bull flag. Now, this bull flag here is still in play. In Luna 2.0, it's not, as one of the main conditions for a full bull flag is that it doesn't retrace more than 50% of the initial pump. And we can just easily see this by drawing the fib levels here. And we're looking at the price to stay above the 0.5 fib. And the price for Luna Classic has stayed above it. For Luna 2.0 it hasn't, but for Luna Classic it has. So in theory, this bull flag could still be in play. And of course, this is the most exciting bull case scenario that I have for you guys, because if you see my previous videos, then the price target for this bull flag is the size of the flagpole before it hits this first support level of that flag there, which is a 54% increase there. And its implications mean that if we break out through the resistance somewhere, then we would see that as a price target. So let's say we broke out here of this resistance, for example, and we had the momentum, we had the volume, to send the price going up. And now, of course, I said we're in this triangle as well, and the upper limit for that was going to be 31 cents as a price target. But if we are indeed in a bull flag, then we could actually see the price go up a lot further. And in fact, the price target for that is around 38 cents, and that represents a 35% pump. And this is if the bull flag is in play. Now, of course, you might think this looks a little bit silly because flags tend to be a little bit shorter than this. We want to see a smaller channel like this. This looks like it's extended a bit too far, but what you can easily do is just shorten the time frame. So we go from a 1 hour chart to a 4 hour chart, and all of a sudden it looks more like a textbook flag. So that is one good reason why I still think the bull flag is still in play with a price target of 38 cents. If we can break through this resistance here, and of course we need a lot of volume, we need a lot of momentum to follow through with that. But with the right set of conditions, we could potentially see it. And that's why, if we do break through this resistance, if this is a clear triangle and we do break through that resistance with an increase in volume down there and momentum going upwards, then I will take some profits out at 31 cents, but I want to leave a small amount to ride all the way to 38 cents because it could indeed be a bull flag that we are seeing. However, if we do break below this triangle here, then of course I'll be shorting down to 24 cents. So that's just what I'm seeing here right now. Of course, in terms of price levels and everything, outside of the triangle, outside of this bull flag here, I think it's really good that we've kept this 0.382 fib. So this in itself could be a triangle, with the support being this 0.382 fib and this blue line here being the resistance. And this is another scenario that I looked at as well. So I drew the triangle one way with the supports connected a little bit better like this. But of course, that might not stand. The price might break through that support with little momentum, suggesting that triangle is not in play, but then respect that 0.382 fib. And what I think will then happen is that we could be seeing this slightly longer triangle with a slightly longer deadline there. If we just measure that, that would give us a deadline of 17 hours. So this scenario here would be in play for me if that previous triangle that I drew for you guys is not respected. So the price breaks below the support there, but without much increase in volume, without much increase in momentum or anything like that. So if that were to occur, then I would be looking at this 0.382 fib there. Of course, if we do break below that triangle, or if indeed the triangle is just not respected at all when we break below the 0.382 fib, then our next level there is at 0.5 fib, that all important 0.5 fib at 25.4 cents. And if we break below that, then this bull flag is out of play, and we could see further decline, kind of like this, where the price just bounces in between the channel and does something very similar to how it did before. Of course, everything could change in a heartbeat as well, from some more good news or more bad, through some good or bad news to come out anywhere. So for example, if Binance tweets something important for Luna Classic. If it's good news, then that could send the price doing something like this again, at any space in time. And of course, likewise with some bad news, if they release any bad news, then we could see a very sudden, quick drop that kind of voids all of the supports and all of the resistances that we've drawn as well. So just stay wary of that. Make sure you're following Binance and Caesar Binance on Twitter, because everything he said so far seems to influence the price a lot. So make sure you're first to that, just in case any good or bad news does come out. And of course, just keep your eye on these certain price levels here. So this blue resistance is very important here. How the price reacts to that blue resistance, and this support line that we drew here for this triangle is very important. And if the price does break out on the bullish side, I'm looking for 31 cents immediately, and then soon after up to 38 cents if it is indeed a bull flag, but there needs to be a lot of momentum for that. If not, I will close out my position. But in my bearish case, I think we'll hit the support again at 24.3 to 24.6 cents there. So those are my immediate price targets for the next few hours. That's what I'm seeing right now on Luna Classic. If you think I've missed anything, be sure to drop a comment below. Let me know what I've missed. If you have any feedback, if you have any other videos you want to see, let me know as well in the comments. But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say on Luna Classic. Hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.